The shadow of fear. The galaxy had been plunged into chaos for nearly a decade. The Vortkon, a ruthless and technologically superior species, had unleashed a reign of terror across star systems. Planets burned, civilizations fell, and fear became a ubiquitous shadow, lurking in every corner of the galaxy. The Vortkon's brutal tactics were unparalleled, their weapons capable of obliterating entire fleets with ease. The Galactic Council, once a bastion of unity and strength, was now a fractured remnant of its former self, helpless against the Vortkon's onslaught. In the heart of the Council's emergency bunker, Commander Alara Kane of the United Earth Fleet pored over the latest intelligence reports. Her eyes, a striking shade of blue, were intense and resolute as they scanned the data on her holographic display. She was a seasoned officer, known for her tactical genius and unyielding spirit, but even she felt the weight of despair pressing down on her shoulders. "Commander Kane," came a voice from the doorway. It was Lieutenant Jackson, her trusted aide. "We have a new report. It's unconventional." Alara glanced up, her curiosity piqued. "Unconventional?" "Yes, ma'am," Jackson said, stepping into the room and placing a datapad on the desk. "It seems that the Vortkon have a new target. They've set their sights on the Arcadian system." Alara frowned. The Arcadian system was a symbol of hope and resilience, known for its advanced research facilities and its role as a haven for refugees from across the galaxy. Why the Arcadian system? It's not a strategic location. Jackson shrugged. That's what makes it troubling. It suggests they might be aiming to make an example of it, to demoralize the remaining resistance. As Alara absorbed this new information, her mind raced through potential strategies and countermeasures. But then, a different kind of message came through, a coded transmission from an unknown source. It was brief but ominous. One ship, one chance. Alara's heart skipped a beat. The message was not only enigmatic, but also absurd. The idea of confronting the Vortkon's full might with a single ship seemed both reckless and hopeless. Yet, as she studied the transmission, something about it resonated with her, a faint glimmer of possibility. "Who sent this?" she asked, her voice steady despite the uncertainty gnawing at her. "We don't know," Jackson replied. "But the encryption is beyond our current decryption capabilities. It's highly advanced." Alara made a decision. She needed to investigate this lead. It was a slim chance, but in their dire situation, even the smallest glimmer of hope had to be pursued. "Prepare the crew for immediate briefing. We're going to investigate this lead. There might be more to this than meets the eye." The next few hours were a whirlwind of activity as Alara and her team prepared for their mission. The mood was tense, yet there was an undercurrent of hope, however faint. They would follow this lead, no matter how improbable it seemed. As the team assembled on the bridge of the U.S. Endeavour, the last remnants of twilight illuminated the dark expanse of space. The ship, though smaller and less armed than the Vortkon's dreadnoughts, was a symbol of humanity's resilience and ingenuity. Alara stood at the helm, her gaze fixed on the stars. "Engage the warp drive," she commanded, her voice filled with a resolve that defied the weight of their perilous journey. The stars stretched into streaks of light as the Endeavour leaped into faster-than-light travel, heading towards the unknown. The enigma of the Sentinel. The U.S. Endeavour emerged from warp space, the Arcadian system sprawling before them in all its silent grandeur. The system was a labyrinth of planets and moons, and at its center lay Arcadia Prime, the jewel of the system. The planet was a lush, vibrant world, teeming with life and activity, its surface marked by the shimmering lights of cities and research facilities. As the Endeavour approached, Alara's tactical display revealed a disturbing sight. The Vortkon fleet had already arrived, their massive ships casting ominous shadows over Arcadia Prime. The vessels were in a tight formation, blocking any escape routes and preparing for a full-scale assault. "We're cutting it close," Jackson said, his voice tinged with anxiety. The Vortkon are about to engage. Alara's gaze was steely as she scanned the tactical readouts. We need to find a way to disrupt their formation. If we can create enough confusion, we might be able to give the Arcadians a fighting chance. As the Endeavour maneuvered into a strategic position, Alara's attention was drawn to a mysterious anomaly on the edge of the system. It was a faint, irregular signal, almost as if it were a beacon. "Sir, we're detecting an unusual signal coming from that nebula," Jackson reported. "It's weak, but it could be worth investigating." Alara weighed the options. The Arcadian system was under imminent threat, but the signal could be connected to their enigmatic message. "Take us closer to the nebula. We need to see if this is related to our lead." The Endeavour navigated through the dense nebula, its sensors struggling to pierce the swirling clouds of gas and dust. As they ventured deeper, the signal grew stronger until it coalesced into a clear, though still faint, transmission. The transmission was not in any known language, but rather a series of pulsating codes and symbols. As the crew worked to decipher the message, a sudden jolt rocked the ship. "Incoming Vortkon fire," Jackson shouted. "They spotted us." The Endeavour's shields flared to life, absorbing the impact of the barrage. Alara's face was set in a determined frown. "Evasive maneuvers. Return fire with all weapons." The ship lurched as it darted through the nebula, the Vortkon ships hot on their tail. Despite the chaos, Alara remained focused on the transmission. With a sudden breakthrough, their tech specialist managed to decode part of the message. "It's a distress call, and it's coming from an old Earth warship, an experimental design that was thought to be lost," the specialist announced. "It might be our single ship, the one we were told about." Alara's heart raced. If the message was accurate, they had stumbled upon a critical piece of the puzzle. The old warship, though obsolete by modern standards, could hold key technology or information that might turn the tide against the Vortkon. "We need to get to that ship before the Vortkon do," Alara said, her voice resolute. "Prepare for boarding operations. We're going after that distress signal." As the Endeavour closed in on the source of the signal, Alara's mind raced with possibilities. The old warship, if still functional, could provide a crucial advantage. Yet, as they prepared to board, she couldn't shake the feeling that they were walking into a trap. The Vortkon were known for their cunning and strategic brilliance. The Endeavour docked with the derelict ship, its hull scarred and worn. The air was thick with the scent of rust and decay. Alara and her team disembarked, weapons ready, as they made their way through the dimly lit corridors of the ancient vessel. Every creak of the ship, every shadow in the corners, heightened their sense of suspense. As they navigated the labyrinthine passages, they finally arrived at the command center, where the source of the distress signal had originated. What they found inside was both startling and unexpected. The command center was in disarray, but there was no sign of any crew. Instead, a lone figure emerged from the shadows, a woman with striking features and a commanding presence. "Commander Alara Kane, I presume," the woman said, her voice calm and measured. "I've been expecting you." Alara's grip tightened on her weapon. "Who are you, and how do you know my name?" The woman smiled faintly. "I'm Captain Elena Kaur of the Sentinel. I was sent to retrieve you. There's much more at stake than you realize." The secrets of the Sentinel Captain Elena Kaur stood before Alara, her demeanor calm and collected despite the chaos surrounding them. The Sentinel was a relic from an earlier age, a warship built with technology that had been lost to history. Its current state was a testament to both its durability and the hardships it had endured. Alara studied Kaur carefully. "You were on the Sentinel. How is it still operational? And what do you know about the Vortkon?" Kaur's gaze was steady as she responded. The Sentinel was part of an experimental fleet designed to counter advanced threats. The Vortkon were never meant to be part of the original scenario, but the ship has capabilities that could make a difference. However, the technology on board is complex and has been dormant for years. As Core spoke, Jackson and the rest of the team began to examine the Sentinel systems, trying to assess its functionality. It became clear that the ship, despite its age, was equipped with technology that could potentially turn the tide of the war. How do we activate the ship's systems? Alara asked, her focus shifting to the task at hand. Core nodded toward the control panel. The Sentinel's core systems are online, but they need to be reactivated manually. We have a few key sequences to perform, but we need to be quick. The Vortkon will not take long to locate us. As the team worked to power up the Sentinel, the tension in the air was palpable. The Vortkon ships were still engaging the Endeavour, and time was running out. Every second that passed brought them closer to the possibility of being discovered. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship. The Vortkon had detected their presence and were closing in. The urgency of the situation intensified. "We need to move now," Alara shouted. "If they find us before we're ready, we'll be sitting ducks." With the help of Core and her knowledge of the Sentinel systems, the crew managed to bring the ship's main engines online. The Sentinel rode to life, its dormant power systems awakening with a surge of energy. "We're ready to go," Core confirmed. "But we need to get out of here before they overwhelm us." Alara nodded. "Engage the ship's cloaking device. Let's get out of sight." The Sentinel's cloaking device activated, rendering it nearly invisible to the Vortkon sensors. The ship moved with surprising speed, slipping past the enemy fleet and making its way toward the heart of the Vortkon armada. As they maneuvered through the enemy lines, Alara couldn't help but feel a growing connection with Core. The captain was more than just a fellow officer. She was a symbol of hope and determination. The two women shared a moment of understanding, their mutual respect evident in their exchanged glances. "We're heading to the Vortkon command ship," Kovos said. "If we can disable their command center, we might be able to disrupt their coordination and give the rest of the fleet a chance." Alara's heart pounded with both fear and excitement. The mission was dangerous, but it was also a chance to make a difference. She and Core were united by a common goal, and their growing bond only strengthened their resolve. As the Sentinel approached the command ship, the stakes were higher than ever. The Vortkon's forces were formidable, but the combination of the Sentinel's advanced technology and the determination of its crew gave them a fighting chance. The final confrontation. The Sentinel slipped through the shadows of the Vortkon command ship, its cloaking device rendering it nearly invisible. The crew, led by Alara and Core, prepared for the final phase of their daring mission. They were about to attempt a bold assault on the heart of the Vortkon fleet's command structure. Alara took a deep breath, her eyes locking with Core's. "This is it. We've come too far to back down now." Core nodded, her expression resolute. "We'll hit them hard and fast. Let's show them what humanity is capable of." The Sentinel docked with the command ship, and the crew made their way through the darkened corridors. The Vortkon command center was heavily guarded, but the element of surprise was on their side. Alara and Core led the charge, their team moving with precision and purpose. As they reached the command center, they encountered fierce resistance. The Vortkon soldiers were formidable, but the combined might of the Sentinel's crew and the expertise of Alara and Core made them a formidable force. The battle was intense, but their determination and skill began to turn the tide in their favor. Amidst the chaos, Alara and Core fought side by side, their movements synchronized and fluid. There was an unspoken bond between them, a shared understanding that transcended words. Their combined strength and tactical brilliance were a force to be reckoned with. With the command center in sight, they pressed forward, their goal clear. The Vortkon were formidable, but their arrogance and overconfidence were their weaknesses. Alara and Core knew that disabling the command center would not only disrupt the enemy's operations, but also give the rest of the fleet a fighting chance. As they breached the command center, they encountered the Vought Khan High Command. The battle was fierce, but the Sentinels' crew, driven by their resolve and the support of their allies, pushed forward with unwavering determination. In the heat of the battle, Alara and Kor found themselves face to face with the Vought Khan commander. The confrontation was intense, a clash of wills and strength. But Alara and Kor were determined to prevail. With a final, decisive strike, they disabled the command center's control systems. The Vought Khan forces, now disoriented and confused, began to falter. The tide of battle turned in favor of the humans. As the dust settled, Alara and Kor stood victorious. The Vought Khan command ship was now a shadow of its former self, its once feared power diminished. The rest of the Vought Khan fleet began to retreat. Their reign of terror effectively ended. In the aftermath of the battle, Alara and Kor shared a moment of triumph. Their bond, forged in the crucible of conflict, was a testament to their shared strength and resolve. "We did it," Alara said, her voice filled with both exhaustion and exhilaration. Kor smiled, her eyes reflecting the light of victory. "We did, and this is just the beginning." The galaxy was forever changed by the bravery and determination of those who had stood against the darkness. Alara, Kor, and their crew had proven that even in the face of overwhelming odds, humanity's spirit was unbreakable. As the Sentinel and the U.S. Endeavour returned to their respective missions, the galaxy began to heal from the wounds inflicted by the Vought Khan. The legend of their triumph spread, a beacon of hope and a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity. And as Alara and Kor looked to the future, they knew that their shared journey was far from over. The galaxy was vast and filled with both challenges and possibilities. Together, they would face whatever came next, united by their courage, their love, and their unshakable belief in a brighter future. The dawn of unity. In the wake of their victory, the galaxy began to breathe easier. The Vought Khan's retreat was a turning point, but the cost of the conflict was evident in every corner of the star systems. The Arcadian system, though saved from immediate destruction, was left in ruins, its people struggling to rebuild. Amidst the chaos and recovery, the message of hope and unity that Alara and Kor had embodied began to spread. The U.S. Endeavour and the Sentinel returned to Earth, where they were greeted as heroes. The celebrations were grand, but for Alara and Kor, the true victory was in the bonds they had forged and the alliances they had strengthened. As the reconstruction efforts on Arcadia Prime began, Alara and Kor found themselves at the forefront of a new initiative. A coalition of planets and species dedicated to preventing future conflicts and promoting peace. Their shared experience had cemented a deep respect and affection for each other, and their partnership became a symbol of unity in a galaxy that had long been divided. In a private moment aboard the U.S. Endeavour, Alara and Kor stood on the observation deck, watching the stars. The weight of their recent victories was heavy, but there was a sense of hope that had not existed before. "We've come a long way," Alara said, her voice thoughtful. "From facing down the Vought Khan to leading a new era of cooperation." Kor nodded, her gaze fixed on the infinite expanse of space. "Yes, and it's only the beginning. The real challenge now is to ensure that the peace we fought for endures." Alara turned to Kor, her expression softening. "We've made a difference, but it's the people we're fighting for who will carry the torch forward. They need to see that unity is possible." Kor reached out, taking Alara's hand in hers. "And they will, because they've seen it in us. We've shown them that even the darkest times can be overcome with courage and hope." Their fingers intertwined, a gesture that spoke volumes about the bond they had formed. The journey they had shared had not only been a battle against a common enemy, but also a discovery of their own strength and connection. As the days turned into weeks, Alara and Kor worked tirelessly to help establish the Coalition of Unity, a diverse alliance of planets and species committed to building a better future. The coalition was a testament to the belief that despite their differences, the galaxy could find common ground and worked together for the greater good. The Sentinel, once a relic of a bygone era, was now a symbol of the new era of peace and cooperation. Elara and Kor took on roles as ambassadors and leaders, using their experiences and insights to guide the coalition through its early stages. Their efforts were not without challenges, but the determination and unity they had demonstrated in their fight against the Vortcons served as a beacon of hope. In time, the galaxy began to heal, and the scars of the conflict began to fade. The story of Elara Kane and Elena Kor became legend, a tale of bravery, sacrifice, and the power of unity. Their partnership had not only changed the course of history, but had also forged a new path for the future. As the coalition flourished and new alliances were formed, Elara and Kor continued their work with unwavering dedication. Their journey had brought them together in the most unexpected of ways, and their shared vision of a united galaxy became their life's mission. In the quiet moments, when the stars shone brightly and the galaxy was at peace, Elara and Kor found solace in each other's company. Their bond, forged in the fires of conflict, had become a source of strength and inspiration for all who looked to the future with hope. And so, as the galaxy entered a new era of peace and cooperation, the legacy of their courage and unity lived on. Elara and Kor's story was a testament to the power of hope and the enduring strength of the human spirit, a story that would inspire generations to come.